Right. So you ready for your first act, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes.
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 I'm so fucking hungover, it's unbelievable. Let's pretend we're all excited. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for your first act this evening? Come on, because there's no matches in the camera. It doesn't matter. No one's going to ever see this again. It's Jack, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Tommy Boscars, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be over here if you need me to hold.
No worries. Yeah, good come to that. Hello.
Hello.
So my name's Jack. I'm from Scaries. I don't know if you know it. It's often described as, you know, a quiet little drinking town with a fishing problem, you know. So
That was good. Where's the
I was gonna say tough crowd, but I mean I've never done this before, so this could well be a good crowd. But I graduated this year from DCU, which is UCD for dyslexic people, pretty much. So I don't know if you noticed when I walked up here, but I actually have a terrible walk. I tend to turn my foot in pretty significantly, so I've had it my whole life. It's nothing too big. I mean, people have a lot worse, but you know, when I was young, I didn't really take much notice of it. You know, people would say the odd time, you know, your walk is fucked. Or, you know, particularly my mother would make references, so I didn't really notice, you know, until one day I was going to a birthday party, and they had one of those, you know, porches with the kind of glass sliding doors. So I was walking up the driveway, and I could see my reflection, and it was pretty horrifying. I mean, I looked like one of those guys from The Walking Dead. I was kind of just like crawling up the driveway like this, you know. Yeah, true story. So after that, I kind of thought, like, I need to fix this, you know. So I went to the doctor, and between the doctor and my mother, they decided that the best option was to wear my shoes on the opposite feet. And this is a proper doctor prescription here, you know. So I did that anyway. And in hindsight, it's a true story. In hindsight, it was terrible parenting because I did it into school, on my first day of school. Now, you know, on your first day of school, you know, you have, you know, everybody's sussing each other out, trying to figure out, you know, who they want to be friends with, who they don't want to be friends with. And let me tell you, the guy with the shoes in the opposite feet, he's right down the bottom of the fucking list. You know? I ended up being sucked down the back with the lads who fucking eat the glue, you know. So it was a tough start to my childhood, you know. But I've just started working recently in a technology company called Newswhip at Marion Square. There's nothing really funny about that, apart from the fact that they probably hired me. But yeah, so that's going well. But I've just started using public transport religiously now, and I realise that the train is just so terrible. It's always late. I've gotten the bus to college, which is also terrible. But one night I got you're familiar with the Nightlink bus home? It leaves at 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock from Lower Abbey Street. Goes all the way to Balbriggan, which is just before Scaries. So it takes about an hour and a half. So one night after drinking and failed attempts at talking to women, we got to 4 o'clock Nightlink home.
You got it home for that.
Yeah. And anyway, we're on the bus. It takes about an hour and a half. So we get to Scaries. My friend Robbie wakes me up and he says, you know, wake up. You know, your stop's in 10 minutes. Don't fall asleep. You're end up in Balbriggan. Yeah, I was like, whatever, Robbie, whatever. You know, and this is true. Now, the next thing I know, I wake up. I think I'm in a dream because I'm looking around and all I see is buses everywhere. Buses everywhere, hundreds of buses. And then it dawns on me that I've actually fallen asleep, gone all the way from town to Balbriggan and back into town again. I was stuck in the bus depot in town. It was horrifying. So like a lot of college students, I went travelling during the summer, you know. So last year I went to Vietnam and Cambodia and Thailand to, you know, find myself. But in reality, I just found myself taking drugs. But now, believe this, Valium is actually legal in Vietnam, so you can get it over the counter, you know. So you can see Rory probably just booking flights to Vietnam. Help him with the whole comedy thing. It takes 6 Valiums before you go on stage. But no, we used to get them because we go on night buses, which would be like 10-hour night buses, really cramped. You'd take like 3 Valium, you'd sleep the whole way. But one night we booked a hotel bus, right? But you don't get a seat, you get a single bed on the bus. And we all presumed that the single bed was for one person, was for 2 people. And I mean, we were with 5 lads. So the 4 lads doubled up straight away, and I was left on this bed waiting to see who was going to join me for the next 12 hours. So we start off, and no one gets on, and I'm like, oh, thank God, hopefully no one comes on. There's like 24 stops in this fucking thing. So we get to the next stop and all sorts of people are getting on. I mean, there's huge men sweating and there's like Vietnamese drug dealers getting on, and I'm panicking now, so I'm taking one Valium and then no one gets on. Next stop, I'm looking at people taking another, taking a third. And then, no joke, after about the fourth stop, this beautiful Dutch woman gets on. And she comes over and she's like, oh, I think I'm with you. So she gets up beside me, the two of us snuggle in nicely. And she's so nice, we're getting on great. And all I can think is, I'm after taking 5 Valium, in 10 minutes I'm going to be out cold. And that's how it turned out. Next thing I knew, she was waking me up the next morning. Disaster, 12 hours later, you know. But believe it or not, I was actually on the Dragon's Den last year. Yeah, well, it didn't work out, but I was in college.
That's the end of the story, folks.
I was in college. We came up with a project. This is when I was, young and full of hope. So we came up with a project. We did well. We got to the later stages, got to present in front of the Dragon's Den, and we practiced and practiced. We had it all down. Everyone was saying we're going to do great. We've done great all year, and we went in and we bombed it so hard. I mean, it was terrible. If someone had YouTube it would have gone viral straight away, It was honestly the worst experience of my life. So that's probably why I tried to go do stand-up comedy, because at least in this situation, the audience is actually supposed to laugh at your ideas. But that's it. I'm Jack, this has been great. Enjoy it.